back with a view of being able to excel through the corporate ladder and move to senior management. But when you have a government that arbitrarily gives most of the people in senior management belongership, then it limits their ascent. It limits their ability to ascend to the top, because as all of those at the top are already belongers. Part of the policy that we wanted to initiate is to ensure that all managers in our country, that at least 75% of the managers for all businesses in our country are belongers. The government seems to be trying to achieve that by awarding belongership to almost everybody. We wanted to achieve that by assuring that Turks and Caicos Islanders were educated, given an opportunity to get experience, and work their way to the top. We also believe that during that age that you're talking about, we believe that that innovation is so alive and well with them. We want to embrace that. We want to be able to assist them with the formation of our development bank, so that we can put some government capital behind some of the ideas that they had. I had an interview a couple of weeks ago with Mr. Robert Hall, and one of the things that I was pointing out to him, you realize that Bill Gates dropped out of college to pursue his entrepreneurial dreams. If Bill Gates did not have someone that invested in him or believed in him, then the likelihood is that the world as we know it may not be as it is, because Microsoft has changed the way that the world does business. It has changed life for citizens of the world. There are great minds in the Turks and Caicos Islands that are ripe with innovation, ripe with new ideas. As a government, we ought to embrace that, invest in them, ensure that opportunities are available to them so that they can pursue their entrepreneurial dreams. So that when I'm looking at instead of sitting down and bragging about a Gates, I can talk about a Williams or a Prosper or a Forbes or a Clinton or a Farrington, and see that these people, through government providing opportunities to them, have been able to reach their full potential, and as a country, they've made us proud. So it's critically important for the youth of our country to get involved and to get behind the People's Democratic Movement, because this is a party that is going to create those opportunities for them. Everybody may want to party and so forth, but a party isn't a reason to vote for your future. If we've created opportunities for you to earn the wealth that I know that you can, and to be as successful as you can, then you don't need anybody else to throw you a party. I firmly believe that people in our country can do better. You can have the big cars, you can have the big houses, you can have successful businesses, and you don't need to do anything wrong to be able to achieve those goals. And what the government seems to be promoting is that you have to do something wrong to be able to achieve those goals. And that is, I believe, is as a result of a lack of innovation and a lack of ingenuity on behalf of the government. So, again, all of us have our part to play. All those young voters, get out there, get behind the People's Democratic Movement. Let's have a government that's going to look out for your best interests. Excuse me? Say the one. There are things that are afoot, and we'll be addressing those as we move forward. The bottom line is that as a party, we take the environment very seriously. We also take the cultural heritage of our country as something of preeminent importance. And anything that seeks to destroy our environment or seeks to destroy the cultural heritage of our party, of our country, is going to meet resistance from our party. But as we move forward, we'll speak more definitively on that. We've met with residents of Salt Key. There are other things that are afoot right now, and it may be inappropriate for me to speak to that at this moment, but it won't be very long before we do address those that issue with you, probably within the next few days or a week or so. But we will be addressing that issue very shortly, and as always, we'll continue to keep you informed of all the developments on that island.
Sorry? No progress just yet. However, the government did indicate that that we should give them until, I think, September, October. Those are the months that have been set aside as the months for getting the roads paved. Don't worry, I will continue to hold them to their word. She's Chairman is a resident of North Baxalina, so she's putting pressure on me as well.
But again, I think it's important for us to understand that, yes, Honorable Robinson has done his part. He's advocated on behalf of the people of North Baxalina, and he's gotten commitment on behalf of the government. But it is because of the government's mismanagement of the country's affairs and their poor cash management, where the government has found itself in a position where it is unable to fund many of the initiatives that they've even committed to funding. They have made a commitment to fund the roads in North and South Baxalina as a result of the efforts that Honorable Robinson has made. But again, this is what you have when you have a government that doesn't manage the country's affairs properly, where even though there's a will to do it, there's a lack of ability to get it done because of their own inabilities and their own selfish activities. That has not been a priority.
Earlier on, in response to your question as to how much the government is responsible for the economic woes that we are currently undergoing. Sorry, I think it's obvious that most of the problems that we're facing were actually created by the government. For example, the unemployment that we are experiencing, where we have contractors and subcontractors and laborers unemployed, is a direct result of the fact that there are thousands of expatriate labor that has been brought in, and cheap labor, exploited labor that has rendered our workers unemployed. That's a situation that was created by the government. Then again, you have the situation where the government was depending on to a large degree on land sales to boost their revenue. And that has been highlighted just last week when the government openly stated that you can now get your crown land outright, because and it's a revenue measure. So I mean, a situation like this obviously tells you that there is no vision in this government when you're depending on land sales to boost your revenue, because there's going to come a time when there is no more land, as is almost the situation now. And that's why they're frantic, because there has been no new revenue measures taken by this government.